Right away, I snatched the mic away. Here to shit my mind, I spray and catch a valid stray from a mile away. And with that energy in it's me, I'm a different breed, killing all the inner peace of my visible enemies. Melodic soliloquy, poetic minute.
Oh, little princess. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of Reflections with Val. Here we have K Poetic in the building.
Peace to the planet. What's happening, y'all? What's going on?
Welcome. And of course, we're using Jersey Media.
Hey,
we can't forget about that. Joe's
Jersey
always
in the
working
building.
hard. This space is beautiful. So, yeah, we want to give him a little shout out who's been recording, episode after episode. He's the man. But today we have our interviewist for today is K Poetic, right?
Yes,
and
ma'am.
he is a hip hop artist, right?
Yes.
And what else do you do for others who don't know?
Hip hop artist. I'm also into the podcast world as well.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like me and my wife started a podcast called the Francois Podcast, so I do that as well.
We can follow you on that.
Oh yeah. Just at the Francois Podcast, you can check out all of our episodes. We think we got like 14. Yeah, we got like 14 at the moment right now. We taking a break for our season. We had a season finale last week. We're gonna take a little break and then come back stronger for season 2. So that's on the podcast wave. On the music wave, it's K Poetic at everything. KPROETIC. I'm part of. I'm 1/4 of the Real Music Collective. Olive.
Yes, I saw that.
Moses the Raven, Kid Ali, those are my guys, my family, and we've been ripping and running for years now.
So is that like a group?
Yeah, definitely a four-man group, collective, I guess I'll say. But and we've been moving, man. We've been moving all around New Jersey, crossing state lines, just trying to make sure everybody knows what we got going on.
Damn, that sounds like you busy. You were working.
I'm a little too busy. Because I'm like, as soon as last year started, I started doing like a whole bunch of like side projects. I also do a lot of video work for like Rising Podcasts and stuff like that too. Like another one I do is for my friend Kadi. She has a podcast called The Voice of Reason. Okay. And she actually works for Viacom. So she has so when she's up there, like at what is it? We normally shoot her podcast at BET. So like she'll have like a little room like to the side that she's able to work at, and then I'll bring like the camera and equipment and all that, and we'll shoot over there. So like I do that on the side, and I don't know. I just try to stay as active like in the media space as much as I possibly can. Yeah,
it's just important. Put your hands in there, learn as much as you can.
Oh yeah,
so you can apply that in your own.
Absolutely. Everything all works to help each other. What I do with the music, what I do with the media, everything is all one. Like I'm just a media guy. I do media work for my church. Like I'm always, I'm just always in the mix with that. But music has always been number one because that was forever.
So let's talk about how this all started. Like, where are you from? Are you from Jersey? Or are you? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from. I was raised in Roselle and East Orange, New Jersey. So those are like my two hometowns. Like Roselle, Union County. East Orange, of course, Essex County, right near Newark. I live in Newark now, in North Newark. So those are like really my two hometowns. Those 3 cities kind of make up really who I am. That was the childhood, and then like coming of age, and then East Orange is when I started getting into like manhood, and that's when I actually really started my career. And I started my career in Newark. That's where we first performed. We performed all over the city, and that's where we tried to like. That's the city we tried to lock down. It's the biggest city in New Jersey. It's the one that has like the most venues.
That's so true.
Yeah,
Newark is pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty damn big, man. So we used to, we used to run around the downtown area performing for anybody who would listen. We were just kids, 19 years old, trying to get into these clubs. Our producer, that's who's my little cousin, Moses the Raven. He was like 16. So I'm over here like fighting with security to get him in, and I'm 19 my damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you thought, like,
So that was always a thing. But we always got in there. We always got our message across, and people really rocked with us, and we just kept at it, and we just kept at it.
That's interesting. So you started your music at what age? Like, when would you say that you had your first encounter growing up, where you heard something and you were like, yo, this sounds really good? And then you just kind of always had it. I
first heard hip hop for the first time in 97, but I didn't get into it until I'll say 2001, 2002. That's when I was like 11, 12. And that's when I really got into it. And that's when I actually wrote like my first verses and everything like that.
How old were you?
Yeah, I was like, I wrote my first verse at 11, but that's when I started getting, I'm saying, it was a little back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I was Larry Head, no dreads yet.
11 years old,
had the
nothing
Caesar
crazy.
cut. It was a different time. Clothes was like 5x something. But yeah, but that was when I first got into it, and then
That's
like
crazy.
it was certain stages. Like I remember, but I didn't really get too much into hip hop till 2002, and I was like 12, 13, and then like when 04 came, that's when I was like, oh, I'm doing this. And that's what I'm focused on, because that's when I started to get into like my lyrical bag and try to really enhance my skill and try to have this kind of braggadocious style, thinking that I was better than everybody. So that's when I started to really, you know, get that going. And then 15, 16, 17, all that was just not a blur, but that's when I was like,
yeah, like
I was
sky's the
in it.
limit. You
I
were
was
in it.
in
You didn't
it.
care.
Nah, I was just
out here.
I was just focused. I was just trying to rap for whoever would listen. But at the same time, no, I probably can't say that because I was real shy too. Like
Right.
even though I started when I was 11, 12, I didn't perform in front of a crowd until I was 19. So that was
Yeah,
that's a
it's
nice
always
little,
one or the
gap.
other.
Yeah, exactly. That was a nice little gap, like a 7, 8 year gap before I started actually, because I was really shy. I would just write. Like I was all in high school. I would just write, but I wouldn't say it for nobody. If somebody
I was gonna
asked
say
me,
you probably wrote for yourself first.
yeah, I just wrote for just write my own little songs, whatever.
So there had to be someone around your circle that was like, yo, you gotta do something with this.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Like, I mean, yeah, like, because like all of my guys, we all like wrote together, and then like, you know, my family is all into music. Like my uncles and like my cousins, they've been involved in music like forever. Like, quick little story, like my
Go ahead.
uncles have like Wyclef. He's actually like a family friend.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he actually like sang at my parents' wedding, all of that, like, cause you know it's a Haitian thing. I'm Haitian, you know, all that stuff. But like he was, but my uncle was the first person to press record on his vocals, like before he was anything. You know what I'm saying? And then like I found out recently that Das Effects, like their first hit, it was an old school 90s group. I don't know if you got young listeners or whatever.
Right. You got me on that. I'm like,
it was an old, they got a classic song called They Want Effects. They first recorded it at my uncle's studio before it actually blew up and the hip hop world knows it to be what it is. But like, my point is, like, they were always into it, and then we kind of got into it because of them. Because I kind of felt like I was raised in a recording studio a little bit.
Okay.
I was just always around it, but I didn't really give it my all until like many years later. And then, you know what I'm saying, it kind of took a while for them to really hop on board and accept us for doing it, because we were just the kids, we were just the nephews and sons, you know what I'm saying? So we weren't really taken so seriously at the beginning. But then as we continue to keep growing and stay on it, that's when they started giving us like a little more advice and started like feeding us info and saying, yo,
so
do this
they were
instead
more
of this.
producers? Or
Yeah, they're producers, engineers, like, you know, mix and master and all that stuff. And mix and master a lot of records, like big records, like that studio DML Productions. They got plaques for like Rihanna and plaques for Neo and all that stuff. Like they're in it, and we were just trying to get a piece of that, but we just had to show that we were serious.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it took a little minute because I felt like we weren't as serious as we should have been at like 15, 16, 17. We were still kids, but like,
would you say that if you were as serious, you would have been?
Absolutely. If we were as serious as we needed to be back then, like they gave us everything we needed, probably. Like they'd have been like, oh, y'all are just, because they were at that age, I think they were that serious. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? They had to be, because they were still young doing all that work. Right. So we were just following in their footsteps. But yeah, that was a little bit of a little history lesson right there.
Okay, so you started with your fam. And what about, do you have any brothers or sisters or no?
Yeah, I got a twin brother that's in the group, of course. And then like, yeah. You seen him, Val. Oh, we performed that check. Yeah. And then I got two little sisters, yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys are twins?
Yeah. That's my twin brother. That's my identical twin brother.
Damn.
He just he got a low cut. Yeah, we did that for the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did that because we was getting everybody mixed up. I mean, everybody was getting us mixed up forever for years. So I was like, let me just grow my hair out. He cut his. We did that for y'all.
Yeah, because you guys were both in the same.
Oh yeah, exactly. The same. You know what I'm saying? We in the same business.
How can they tell you guys apart?
I got hair, he don't. Simple as that. And we don't dress exactly the same. We don't like.
But back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
how could they even?
And a lot of people was just playing the guessing game. There was just you know, flipping coins.
Yo, if I had a twin, man, I'd join in with her and I'd be like, yo, you play this guy out and I play him out.
So, everybody kept saying, yo, man, if I was a twin, you know what I'd be doing? I don't want to say we were born, but since I didn't see him as my twin, I saw him as my brother. So I didn't think to myself, yo, we could just really mess with people. Like I didn't really think that. I wasn't thinking that as much, but. And
you guys never played tricks like that on people?
The only thing we did once, I remember we had the same class. We just switched seats. Teacher ain't know. That's all we did. Teacher didn't know nothing, and then that was it. And we was like, "Whoa, all right, that's our fun for the day." that was about it.
That would have been so much fun. I wish I would have gone to school the same grade with my brother or sister. Like,
yeah, man. I mean, yeah, you know, having a built-in best friend is dope. You know what I'm saying? Having a built-in best friend is dope, and that's my man. That's my heart right there. But yeah, and then we do this music together. Always have, always will.
So he's a part of the whole group thing as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, essential.
Did he start the same time as you when it comes to writing and music, or you kind of?
We followed the exact same path. Like we did this whole thing together the exact same way. So everything, like my story is basically his story, like basically. So that's how
it's beautiful that you guys can come together and support one another.
Oh yeah.
In that, because like a lot of people are feeling on that as well.
Of course.
But in the creating process, like going back to music, when you first heard or had any experience, like give me a song that you heard during your time of any trial, any tribulation. Give me a song that you created in that moment, or maybe a beat or any production made in any time that you've gone through anything in your life, like in the 15 when you were 16 or even not, you know, like what is that first song that you were like, yo, I've written so many songs, but this song for me right here, I think is gonna be.
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. Okay, so regards to something I went through. Okay, all right. This one I don't know if it's funny, but I remember when I was 14. I had to. What happened? I had to get surgery for something. And I was scared because I never had surgery before.
Okay.
And I wrote a song about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where it is, and I bet you it's like garbage. But I remember I was just writing about how scared I was, and that's when I realized, oh, this is what I do when I have fear of anything. So I carried that. I never wrote and recorded that. I'm sure it's garbage. But like when I think about like, and now I think about my most recent years. I remember when I got into producing. I remember when I remember back in the day when I had like an argument with my girlfriend or whatever, and I made a beat, and that beat ended up turning into one of my songs that was called "Sincerely Yours," which is the only song that I wrote, recorded, and produced by myself. But I made the music because we were in a bad space at that moment. But that's what that started from. But so every time I hear that music, I'm like, I forgot that's how that started. I'm trying to think of a song.
So whenever fear is built, you said you just started writing?
Yeah. When I was 14, that was the first time I did that, which is like, I would not do that now because in hindsight, like at 14, that was scary to me. So I wrote something about it because that helped me deal with it. I mean, now as a man, like that wouldn't be as scary to me, but like, so if I was to, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if I was to go through something that was really tumultuous or something that I couldn't handle, I'll definitely throw it in a verse. I'll definitely write a song. Oh, you know what? Oh, all right. I do actually have one. It's actually a song I'm actually currently writing. So I'll get deep for a moment. When I was 19, me and my cousin from that's in my group, Kid Alik, that I mentioned earlier, we had a situation in East Orange where we were like falsely arrested. So like, yeah, that was a situation. Yeah, whole crazy thing. For like in there for like 12 days because they thought we did something. Got out, everything's fine. It was all over. And that's the first time I really wrote about something that was crazy. Like I wrote while I was in there. I think I still had a paper to this day.
Yeah, but 12 days probably felt like.
Oh, I felt like forever then. I was 19. Yeah. I felt like forever then. That wasn't days. Anybody who knows me knows my life. Like that was like bugged out. Like that's nowhere near how I came up to be in a situation like that. But anyway, so that was when I felt like I like had to, because I felt like if I don't get a chance to like write anything, then I'm gonna just go crazy in here. So like I wrote, like I remember I had like this broken pencil, and then like I had this one sheet of paper, and that was the fastest I ever wrote anything. I wrote the whole front page and the whole back page, and I was mad that I just didn't have any more space left. So I was just like, damn, I still got like more to go. But so I mean that was all over, and then I always had that piece of paper like, yo, I gotta record this, but I just never did. And when I put out my first album, that was in 2015. The end of 2015, I put out my first album. Well, I guess it was a mixtape. Yeah. I put that out, and that song was supposed to be on there. But I didn't do it. I had a whole bunch of other songs. So I wrote a song on the album called Just a Few Thoughts, and I mentioned the whole situation, and I said I'm saving the details for my next album. So on this album, I'm actually going to tell the full story. The song's called 12 Days, and I'm just writing it, no hook, no nothing, and I'm telling the story from top to bottom. I've been looking for a beat forever for it, because you got to find the right music to tell that story. I found it. I finally found it, and
It's a track, or the whole album is gonna be based on the 12 days.
There's just one song. I didn't want to have the whole album.
I was
about
like,
that.
damn, that's gonna be intense.
Nah, I was like, let's give one song.
Each track gonna be on each day.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, by the way. That would be crazy. But nah, I was like, I ain't doing that. I was like, nah, I'm gonna just have one song. I'm gonna detail the whole thing, the whole story, and then that's it. Cause I love. Like, my favorite type of rap is like storytelling rap. I love rappers that tell stories. I love Nas. I love Tupac. I love I don't know, like Eminem has that skill too. If you're able to take a situation and tell a cohesive, consistent story from top to bottom in rhyme form, to me that's one of the most like impressive skills for a rapper. So that's something I always wanted to do. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't think I've done that in quite some time. So that'll be kind of like my challenge now. Like the songs I've been writing now, I mean, they're still like deep and they're still pretty like, they're introspective and they're like, I guess conscious or whatever. Mm-hmm, but I haven't really done like the storytelling in a while. So I wanted to like, let me have one song in which someone could just press play and then just feel like, they could close their eyes and just, I want to put them in there. Like Nas is incredibly descriptive. It's like the way he details everything, like you feel like you're there. You close your eyes, you feel like you're there. So I want you to smell the cell. I want you to feel like you're right there and just take you in that moment for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, however long it's gonna be. And then the minute it's over and you open your eyes, it's like, oh damn, I'm right here. I'm in the studio, or I'm home, or I'm at work, or whatever. So I want to have that effect on the listener, because I was the one that I was the listener that experienced that through my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I want to be able to do that with that song. So that song I'm actually currently right now. I'm probably like 12, 16 bars in, but like
that's beautiful. That's gonna be a heavy one. That song sounds like it's gonna be the one that a lot of people are gonna find music therapy in.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna talk my talk, man. I'm gonna talk my talk. I'm giving everything. So that's gonna be a heavy one. So I think that right there was a situation where I felt like I had to write something to really cope with that. And that actually did make me feel better. And granted, like that was 10 years ago. I'm beyond past some of those initial feelings. Right. But recording this song will also bring it'll bring some kind of closure to that.
Yeah, but like as a hip hop artist, like didn't you have a moment in your time in life where you probably felt stuck emotionally and you couldn't let it all down in verses or in a chorus or in a word, or that hasn't happened to you?
Feel stuck I'm
a writer's block kind of.
Your
emotions are too involved.
Oh,
or just
a writer's block
yeah.
through emotion. Oh, well, I thought you meant just like regular writer's block. I'm gonna say I'm going through that now, but like through emotion. But that's possible. That's possible.
That's possible, right?
That's definitely possible, because like you have to figure out those emotions. You have to deal with those emotions, like some people don't like to do, and then you have to convey those emotions. Another thing that's hard to do, and then convey it through song. Like so, you have to go through like those phases.
Because conveying, you could be so descriptive and it's unnecessary sometimes.
No,
lyrics. Come on, don't give me the whole details.
No. I feel you. But that's definitely possible. Like,
that's definitely possible. Yeah. Like, I feel like that is one of my challenges that I'm trying to overcome. Is just like I get too emotionally involved into certain scenarios or situations, and I want to write about it, but then when I have the paper in front of me, there's too many words or too many descriptions or too many things that come in.
Okay.
That
interesting.
I'm just like,
No, I feel you on that. Like that's actually interesting. So that means so when you actually do finish all of that music, that should be something real deep, introspective. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's why I feel like I've been holding back for a long time. Because although I'm a singer, I've done a lot of covers. Right. I'm a singer that's performed. I'm the opposite. I've performed first, then recorded.
Okay, I got you.
That's why performing to me is natural. I don't put on a show. I was also a worship leader and stuff of that nature. Yeah, all of my life, and going into different churches to perform and stuff. So like public speaking to me is second nature. But when it came down to in the studio, and I'm like, yo, I'm repeating the same verse over and over again. Like I didn't expect this. Like I was used to just one and done in it, and that's it.
No, I feel you. And you realize the difference between being a performer and a recording artist, and it's two complete different things. Like I started as a recording artist like forever, and then I started to perform, and then our first performance, like, we were garbage.
It's captivating, raps abrasive, that's amazing. Magic making, black invasion, aggravating, magnation, cracking Satan back to bases. Crafting a classic in the making, you don't want no smoke. All of y'all can get it like the Oprah show. It's real music in the garden, we the best in sight.